All right, welcome to Prime League match 3 of this season. The draft has actually already started. We're getting a little bit earlier into this game. Well, I'm late, and also the draft is getting earlier already because the opponents have disagreed on pro draft. But that'll be fun. Let's just quickly switch into the match then. I had a bit of a summary prepared for the beginning, but I guess that won't happen now. Right. Anyway, welcome to today's stream, basically. Prime League match. Technically Playday 4, we skipped the HEM match, so it's technically still series number 3. But yeah, right, I need to modify the audio lines, I think. But yeah. Yeah, so basically, you can see the draft of game 1 right now. We do see a Charon 4 pick on left side. And we're comparing a pick on right side. So LPS has picked red side. Personally, I haven't even looked at the picks. I have just looked at the other statistics, and I have some things prepared that we can get into during the spectator delay in just a second. But yeah, the question will be: will we be actually able to get a win, or are we gonna go 0-6? Because that's what the standing right now is, basically. So, I'm gonna go through the slots I have in just a second once we're, like, after the pick and ban. Atrox for, top lane on left side, presumably, for Void Unknown. And we're heading into the second ban phase. But yeah, we have reached the midway point, and depending on this week, we will also already have the first few things happening, basically. Because as a reminder, top 3 of the division will be promoted to League 7, and then the other one will remain in League 8.
I'm absolutely livid.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. Want me to wait while you go get them?
So that's a Poppy ban from LPS's side. And we have the Vladimir ban. Let's have a quick look, actually, because I have prepared about the teams in general, but not about the individual members.
Be afraid of me.
Gonna have a quick look while we're sitting in the queue. For the Poppy ban, I would say targets top, that's for sure. In the meanwhile, let's have a quick look. Just still preparing things alongside because I had to kind of rush things to get here. So that's why I can't really pay attention to what's happening right now, but I do have some things prepared for a second. Right, so Vega picked by LPS. Looks like Lucian picked by Void Unknown. What's gonna be the final pick of Void Unknown? It's gonna be a Brown, I guess. Unless he switches out to someone else. And nope, that's gonna be a support Rel. And Urgot, so that's gonna be Urgot top for Noisia, probably. Alright, well, that's the draft done. So some switch arounds to be completed right now. And while we're gonna wait for the spectator delay, let's just go quickly through some things to give a little bit of context on what's going to be happening today. So, there we go. So this is week 4. We have basically now reached the midway point of the season. So this week we only have 3 match days. 3 series on match day 4. Kakborg has already won against Hertha earlier this week. We're playing against Void Unknown today. And then Hertha will also be playing on Sunday, I believe, against It's Only Sad. Now, the match against It's Only Sad actually does have a few caveats, because the thing is, or well, it has a few implications. Because based on the fact that Hertha is already 0-6, they have already played 3 of the 6 series. If they actually lose this week's match, they will be they're gonna stay on Division 8. There's no way. They could technically tie with the leading pack right now, but realistically, based on the upcoming matchups we still have, they're not going to be able to actually get to the promotion spots. So that's something to keep in mind for them. And in the meanwhile, that means I guess we can look at the standings for the time being. So Spirit Knights is still ahead on 5-1. Kakborg manages to go in second place after the win against Hertha earlier this week. They're on 4-0. In the meanwhile, on third place, you have both Nude and today's opponent, Void Unknown, both in 4-2. They have one more series played already, so that's why they're behind. They're going to be fighting, this series is going to be important because of the promotion implications for them. On 5th place, we have It's Only Sad with 1-3. They have a win on the board compared to us and Hertha Hoffnungslos, which is still at 0 wins with 4 losses and 6 losses respectively. Alright, as I've already said, if Hertha's gonna lose the series against iOS this week, then they're just gonna be locked into remaining in Division 8. And I would say it's gonna be truly hopeless for them, I guess. But yeah. So something to keep in mind this series actually, I ran through all these scoreboards on that are currently visible on only scheduled the series that were already played. And there's actually an interesting thing. So what we've seen, or what I've seen is that Void Unknown is being kind of switching around their rosters. So because I'm not quite sure what's going on, I'm guessing it's because they're actually a team from I believe, furtive organization. I'm guessing it's a community team. One might, I guess, give some context on that, but they have definitely been switching around their rosters and probably upgrading it a little bit. And I guess one player to highlight in this case, because I went through all the scoreboards that we already have played, I have made a KDA leaderboard, and it's currently looking like this. So Ducky is currently leading it. He has only played 1 series, but that's gonna mean that we'll have to take a look at him specifically, or them, and to see how they'll perform. We also have quite a range of other plays in here as well, of course. Interestingly enough, 0-6, but Nihal 106 from Hertha is also listed here. And apart from that, all the different teams that are currently in the upper spots also appearing on the leaderboard. LPS so far, unfortunately, somewhere at the bottom. Not quite the bottom, but somewhere close to that. So yeah, I do have a few things to go through still, but I think we're about to be ready to go to the little game. Just a second. Alright, and I think we can switch over. There we go. Yeah, so as a reminder, Void Unknown, left side, Leaguepedia staff, right side. And are we gonna get... Oops, sorry about that one. Are we gonna get an invade?
30 seconds until minions
Last
spawn.
match, last series, we did get one in the second game. Doesn't appear to be one this time around. Everyone just basically standing on their sides of the river for the time being.
Minions have spawned.
It's gonna be noisy on Urgot once again. Actually, I should check. Do we have... I should have a look at what kinds of games we have had over the span of the season. So, Teach Nanya already has a match on Charvin in 5-0-11 against It's Only Sad. In the meanwhile, we have a Lucian. No Lucian in here, and oh, hang on. They're already fighting bot lane. Do we have... Well, for Nazamping, it's just gonna be HP trades, nothing else than that. Unless... Jochen Spies are kind of jumping in, but not... I mean, LPS had to burn a few health, so there's that. Puts him a little bit of a disadvantage, but, well, technically... Oh, that might be fast going over, unless he can. He does need a flash, but he also gets... Jochen also uses his flash, and they just get the W. Well, not W yet, but you know what I mean. And that's Juno going over to a bot lane of BU. I don't know. It's an early lead for them. They also gotten already a bounty on them. I didn't know that could happen as early as that. But I guess one thing to mention about the player to watch that I had mentioned, Ducky, he is already up ahead quite a bit in CS. Which may be a thing that'll move forward, I guess. But apart from that, just trades for the time being. And as I get myself something to drink, that's another kill going over to what unknown spot lane. In the meanwhile, sorry about that one. In the meanwhile, what unknown, or rather LPS tries a gang on mid lane, but it doesn't. No reward for the time being there yet. So I assume that their win condition will likely be mid lane, but nope. It looks like it might be bot lane. That's one that happens when I try to tap out outside of the game. That's a switch back, and that's another kill going over to you. So right now, it's not looking too good for LPS. But be a little bit careful, they're clearly targeting the area that they are here. Especially with now Vision being there, but... But still, Void is definitely really aggressive and definitely took a lead in the early game. We do already have Drake. Oh, realistically, that's gonna be a target for them as well. But I guess they won't be going for it just yet. They realistically will wait. Or will they get a kill on another kill on bot lane, maybe? Nope, they're again going in for it now. DACH is trying to make Yesto just stay on mid lane, so that nothing will happen there. Let's have a switch to the Drake. They're taking their time. But there you go, that's the Mountain Drake going over to Point Unknown. And meanwhile, Noise isn't doing too good on top lane. We probably need some help, but at the same time, bot lane is certainly not doing too well, is it? Fortunately. I'm gonna have to take a look during the break. This might be worst early game we've had so far. At least in terms of kills, not sure about gold, but definitely not doing too well. Now, kind of fun fact. I don't think. Oh, hang on. Nope, yes, is able to get out, but he does have two on his lane, so we're even. I just noticed. But nothing ends up coming out of that. Right, one fun fact though. Yes, was it yesterday? Earlier this week in the Kakra versus Hertha series, that's for sure. We had a 17-minute game. Which Hertha ended up losing. I don't think we'll have the shortest game, but certainly not doing too well. Noise coming in. That was nearly one kill going over. Atrox took a little bit more than he possibly could have taken. We're sorry. Maybe in the risk video, but I don't know. In the meanwhile, it's once again time for bot. Nope, not yet. And I don't think ultimate, maybe? Nope, no mind. But I think that'll be now the first kill coming over. It is indeed. In the meanwhile, bot lane once again. Let's have a quick look at the goalie because I'm curious. In the meanwhile, Frost is definitely struggling, and I think he's not gonna be surviving for too long unless... Nope, there we go. 10-1 for Void Unknown. We're also getting quite a few plays here. So, really good games from them so far, not gonna lie. I mean, we are starting to see large gold leads with literally everyone at this point. Well, not quite everyone. Each Narn is technically behind, but if you're looking at top lane, bot lane, significant leads for everyone at this point. But I guess that means the question will be, can they do anything to really make sure that, well, like, to get it back into the game, really. Noise is quite low. He won't be really able to do much, I think, unless they get a gank going. Vigo is going top. In the meanwhile, we might be looking for another kill in bot lane. He is definitely falling. There we go. And Vigo's now trying to target Agnew, but I don't think he's able to get anything. Nope, not yet. It's... Nope, not time yet. I was about to say it's probably time for another slaughter in bot lane, but not yet for the time being. 6-0-2 for Jochen at this point. Not bad. And Noisy went a little bit too deep, but hang on, that might have been just in time because Figu gets the shutdown. So that's a good shot by that side, but will be enough, or will be just a drop on the hot stone? Like a drop of water on the hot stone? No Taurus spawn yet, is slightly surprising. But then again, it's kind of rare, I guess, to get him already fallen into the... while the blades are still up, you know. Aki just grabs Yesto in the middle of the jungle. Yesto will be able to get away, perhaps? Not sure. Yes, he is indeed able to get away. Aki retreats before he overextends, which is fair. But I can notice that they're looking for bot lane. Cavern appears to be proxying, perhaps? Not sure. Figu is definitely trying to get them. In the meanwhile, Ashcrafter jumps fast down the turret and just goes for him. But maybe was it a little bit too much. Figu comes in, flashes, and they also get a flash from Void Unknown. But looks like everyone is just able to run away for the time being. Yeah, okay, Figu can't really get them. They managed to escape with like 200 HP each. Too close, but not quite there. We do have Drake up, which someone might be trying to go for. Let's see. RBS is trying to clear the vision at least. If they go for it, that would be really risky. I don't think they would do that. Instead, here we go. Now Drake's being called by, but it's by Wood Unknown, and they end up getting it. Not much LBS could have done other than just dying, realistically. But at this point, it kind of needs a throw, I would say. But hey. But I mean, who knows? They could have just... Maybe we'll just play game one bad and the game's still pretty good. I don't know. I mean, it has kind of happened in the previous series, where game 2, the opponent basically started to be a little bit more relaxed. And as a result, they ended up getting a fairly close game, actually. Alicia is fighting against AQ, but appears to be falling, unfortunately. It's kind of a bloodbath on all lanes, apart from maybe mid lane. And jungle. Can't really blame them. There we go, once again, bot lane. Can't really blame them, though, because as it's been with the previous series, Professor just get out. Did Crashcrafted take too much? Yes, he did indeed. That's a shutdown, but it's not the big shutdown from Jochen. And we do also have objective bounties already. I didn't check how many turrets, how many plates are going over, but certainly a bunch of them. But right, anyway. I believe if I look at the, like, Illus and something, and so on, Void were definitely the favorites coming in the series, so it's not surprising that they are leading once again. now the game state actually ends up coming down a little bit. So they're looking for Yesto. Is he able to get under the turret? Yes, he is. And make sure View stands doesn't follow along for the time being, but realistically, I'm getting a bit of a vibe that it's not really, like, not really scaring them. He was able to get a bunch of damage down to onto Narnia, but that's about it. He just dodges through. But yeah, 60 minutes in. At this point, Void Unknown has a significant lead, but it feels like it's starting to stagnate a little bit. We do have a few objectives coming up, so maybe that's what they're just gonna wait on. But they're definitely looking for the Herald, I believe. Let's have a quick look. Yep, they're definitely looking for Herald. Once again, LVS can't really do anything. And now they're looking for Yesto. In the meanwhile, bot lane. LBS manages to get one, but invest 3 bot lane. I mean, at this point, you gotta take what you can get, really. But anyway. Noisy getting quite a lot of damage top lane. I think if you... Yeah, probably... I feel it's probably gonna get him. Flash for flash. In the meanwhile, mid lane has a bunch of turrets fallen. Did they use Herald yet? I don't... I think they did. Okay. I didn't quite see that. Arrow tier casting. Here we go. But yeah, anyway. Now all turrets, all non-base turrets rather, on top and mid lane have fallen. Like you might... Oh, it's the target from Noisy and Figo. Let's see if they can get him. Or if Akio at this point has become too powerful. Nope. Noisy ultimate finishes him off. In the meanwhile, as Void Unknown is targeting Soul Point. And that's another turret's destroyed, so... Void Unknown definitely in the control of the game at this point. FPS can't really do anything other than just attempt to answer and do something about it. Now you're about to target Noisy, and I don't think he's able to do much against that. There we go, unfortunately not. And now they're definitely talking to base, it appears. We do have no objectives up, really, so that makes sense. We're certainly not gonna wait 4 minutes for Drake to spawn. And there you go, Void Unknown targets the base. Can they get something? Thrust and Gideon trying to do something about it, but can't. And now the base is basically open. LPS is trying to do something about it. Trying to retreat. Digu is trying to do something. Managed to get a kill. But I think that'll be it. And we're gonna be finishing. Oh no, hang on. That was a messy fight, I believe, but 3 for 4. And the fight ends up going over to LPS. And they don't even manage to get a turret unless... I don't think they're getting the turret. I kind of would like a replay with it, but I can't really get that before just interrupting the stream, and I don't want to do that. But there you go, that is one fight going over to LPS. Although barely. But that's certainly gonna be used by Void to just regroup. And I mean, they still have a big lead. But it's no longer as big as it used to be. We do have Otacon alive at top, bot lane, sorry. In the meanwhile, Noisia not looking too good against IQ unless, please be able to? No, I don't think so. Yep, there we go. So I guess they're now looking for bot lane, realistically. Yep, there we go. Now how will this fight finish off? Thank you for the camera not showing barely anything. This time it does indeed look like a slaughter from Void Unknown. Only Figu is able to get out of there. And they're gonna hunt for Otacon and Figu at the same time, I think. Nope, they're just gonna get Otacon and Figu is just gonna run away somehow. Yeah, there you go, we managed to get out. Figu just, he's back. Retreats and Void Unknown gets Otacon. You do have only 1 minute on the Drake, so certainly that's gonna be something that will target as well. Maybe just not yet, but still. There are 3 top trying to get Ducky. Let's see. Nope, Ducky flashes away, and that'll be it. The turret is fairly low, but they can't get to it. They don't have minions yet. Look, quite a few pings going mid lane. That's the support gun. 31-4 for Jochen at this point in bot lane. If I had a MVP to give, it's probably gonna be him. And there you go, that's gonna be so going over to I don't know. That's a fairly quick one as well. What's the earliest realistic time that someone could make or could get a soul? I think it's gonna be close to that, right? And meanwhile, Noisia is trying to get IQ and it might be able to get it unless he does have the ultimate, but I don't think he uses it. But when IQ managed to get away with just like maybe 100 HP, maybe at that. And Narnia found Figu, tries to get something. And IQ has now returned. Can he get no actually something proper? It is fairly close, and nope. Noisia managed to kill him. Oh, there are some signs, some good signs for LPS littered throughout the game. But apart from that, I think it's still Void Unknown in the driver's seat for the time being.
I am stronger.
But it's certainly not as definitive of a game as it looked like in the first 7 minutes, right? There we go. Void Unknown tries to charge in, gets the support, and Yesto also tries to do something, but I think yeah, okay, no one. But there we go, we're now having a fight, but let's see if the obvious can still do something. Just getting picked one by one, I think. But can Figure at least get someone from them? Yes, he can. But he's gonna fall. And that leaves Trust alone. Never mind, it's an ace. And that's gonna be Baron going over to Void Unknown. And that's gonna be Baron going over to them. Right! This is minute 26 of the match. I mean, I would say that's fine. Oh, hang on, the microphone a peg. Nope, no mind, not yet for the time being. And are they gonna do something about that? Right, let's see, let's go back to the match for a second. And Void Unknown is trying to try and get the trying to go slow into the base. Certainly looking for something. That's mid-turret gone, that's an opening. But are they actually able to do something about it, or does LBS have answers? It's not sure it's gone, and now they're suddenly looking for something. Crashcraft has to retreat, he's gonna go away. And Figo's hunting ahead for him. And I think that's certainly now the game done. Inhibitors are slowly falling, that's for sure. Only the Nexus turrets are left at this point, and that's gonna be the target for them. And there you go, Void Unknown goes up 1-0 in the series, or takes game 1. LBS goes 0-5, good game guys, and we're gonna see ourselves back in just maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'll see you then. Alright, welcome back to game 2 of the series. Leaguepedia, White Unknown has won against Leaguepedia staff. You can see the gold graph from game 1 on the screen right now. Early game, like, as I was mentioning in game 1 at the end of it, it felt like it was certainly tapering off at the end there. Kind of destruction in the first few 7 minutes or so, about. And then it just kind of stagnated, but White Unknown was certainly still able to get all these wins, realistically. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see if game 2 is gonna be the same thing or different. We'll have to see. So this game around, White Unknown has side selection, and they end up picking blue side. So in theory, we'll have the same game once again, but likely different draft this time around. Let's switch to the League client. You can see the remainder of the spectator delay ticking down right there. And we're gonna see Nasus top lane on LPS's side. Dash center, bot support. We'll see how if that goes better, hopefully. And on the White Unknown side, we are gonna see similar team comp, but also different, so we'll see. And that's the League client disappearing quite earlier than I thought it would. But anyway, I'm just gonna go back to the screen, and I might as well go to the standings, actually. Because that has developed a little bit after this match. Because their win against us, their one single win for the time being, has meant that actually White Unknown has now moved on to second place. So that's going to be good for them. That means they're back in the promotion spots, or rather, technically they are now in the promotion spots because they started off with a loss. So now they're at 5-2 and they have made their way into the top 3. So that's good for them. But yeah, we're gonna have to see if similar things repeat in game 2. So, and I think at that point we might as well just get right into it because the spectator delay is up, and that means Iron Tier casting can once again begin. Here we go. White Unknown versus Leaguepedia staff, game 2 of 2. Once again, this is 2 best of 1s. Or rather, 2 games, a series of 2 games. They're being counted as a best of 1 each. So,
30 seconds until minions spawn.
will LPS be able to take revenge, or is it just gonna be utter destruction once again? You basically tell me. But yeah, I guess in the meanwhile,
Minions have spawned.
once again, similar strategies to game 1 though. We can see that everyone's kind of standing outside of the river, making sure that nobody's invading. But we're gonna have to see. Laning phase starts now. I mean, I'm not quite sure when the first kill happened. I think minute 2, minute 3. Early minute 3 or late minute 2. Something along those lines. Well, yeah, we'll have to see. So, I mentioned the ELO comparison earlier. I'm pretty sure, or rather, I'm pretty sure, as far as I know at least, that RBS is on would be the wildcard entry in this case, and it is indeed. We have 1 Emerald player and 3 bronzes. In the meanwhile, White Unknown is basically entirely gold plus. So they even have Emerald Blaze, they even have Blood Blaze. Oh no, mind. Peach and Narnia is silver. So that's an exception, but all across the board, as you can clearly tell, they have the upper hand and they should be able to win this match. In theory. We have seen it with the previous series where game 2 was fairly close. Because I guess you could say you were able to kind of tell that the opponents are starting to relax a little. But here we go, that's game 2, and game 2 starts identically with a fight in bot lane. But this time around, we do have Figure here trying to go for a gank. And can we get the first blood? Rash needs to flash out, and that's gonna be it for the time being. But Narnia comes in, and that's once again first blood coming over to Void Unknown. Can they get more? Rust is gonna fall. There we go, that's a double kill even. Double kill to the jungler though, not bot lane necessarily this time around. But there you go, game 2 starts similarly to game 1. Not really good news, but we'll have to see how it continues. Especially, I mean, okay, to be fair, we can see, in terms of CS, I guess, Botland is able to get ahead slightly again. But I'm gonna be curious to see how the gold lead on jungle is gonna play into this game. Well, maybe like this, as Narnia attacks Figure. Figure might be able to dash away, or flash away, sorry. And he does indeed. That's Flash Gun for 5 minutes. And nope. I was about to say, well, that's good. Looks like another bot round, but no mind. No murders bot lane just yet. Yes, that's the flash away. Was that? Nope, not yet. I was about to say, is that gonna be a solo kill? But not yet. Got a little close though. Too close for comfort for me personally. But we can... Certainly the gas has been removed from this game a little bit. Void Unknown is ahead, but it's not like game 1. Where they came in like 7 minutes into the game, led with like 5k gold. And there were literally no more answers left to give. Instead, this game, it's a little bit more calm, I would say. And that's another more action happening bot lane. Void Unknown is definitely focusing their attention bot lane. We can definitely constantly tell. They're constantly trying to do a play bot lane, I feel like. And once again, let's have a look. Once again, attempt to do something where he can't just quite get the kills this time around. In the meanwhile, Figo targeting Ducky. And apart from HP, isn't able, in the health part, isn't able to get much away from there. He's looking for the Drake though, which Void Unknown has started. Are we gonna see a fight for the Drake? Yes, we are indeed. Vigo comes in to chomp onto someone. Yes, lane Ducky somewhere off screen. Void Unknown ends up taking the dragon, but can LPS get some kills? That's looking like a no. Vigo ends up dashing away, same with Fiesto, but Jochen gets him. And Fiesto collects Fiesto for a double kill. Right, so nice play, but not quite enough once again, although I guess the goal is still fairly equal, all things considered. Like, compared to what it was prior to this. But yeah, as we can see, Void Unknown once again clearly in the lead, clearly having the upper hand. I'm gonna have a small look top lane. The stacks are looking nice-ish. It's not something extreme. Hang on, Figo coming into Ducky. Ducky flashes away. And that's gonna be it. So LPS manages get a flash, but that's gonna be it. And another plate bot lane. Yeah, the game certainly has calmed down quite a bit compared to game 1. Why they're not going for the crops, I just noticed. There we go. But that's another objective completed. So yeah, one thing we have seen is Void Unknown definitely has control over the objectives. LPS can maybe get some turrets, but that was about it. It happened in game 1, it's looking similar in game 2. And Jochen going in for Rust. Can he get him? I think he can. But it's gonna tank a third shot, but hang on, we do have no one. I was about to say, well, that's someone coming from jungle, but it's just our teammate. Meanwhile, Figo, IQ ends up flashing to get away from Figo. Is Figo able to get something? They're going out of the turret, and yes, he was indeed. So that's fix and free. And meanwhile, mid lane, 1-on-1 battle. And Yesto ends up getting Darksky in a solo kill. Good job. In the meanwhile, bot lane, KD ends up falling. But the game set is looking a little bit off. The game is boldly, at least it runs again, stagnating at 2k. Or 2 to 3k rather. Which is not great, but it means the game isn't just blindly snowballing, that's for sure. I do actually, hang on, we do have a fight coming in. Figo was able to spot someone. Can he get him in time before the teammates arrive? No, he can't. Alright, 12 minutes in. No turrets have fallen yet. One Drake has gone over to Void Unknown. And the grubs. But apart from that, not much else has been going on in this game. We do have Drake coming up in 30 seconds. Not 30 minutes, that would be a very long game. It's gonna be the target for someone, but before that, Yesto might be the target for Ducky, but not for the time being. Hugo's looking for something mid lane though. And meanwhile, bot lane. Void Unknown is looking for bot lane, LPS is looking for mid lane. Figo runs some talking to Ducky, and Ducky dashes away, gets out of there for the time being. Unless is Figo able to catch him? Nope, he can't. That was a risky play, and it didn't pay off. If it did though, that would be pretty poggers, that's for sure. I guess that's of the high risk, high reward team, and there you go. Void Unknown gets the Drake off screen. Akio might fall to Nasus, or Nasus just avoids going in more deeply. Have a quick look. Nope. The ultimate is gonna expire. There we go. So Akio managed to get away, and turret lane is gonna fall. Let's have a look. LPS managed to get one plate bot lane. But apart from that, Void Unknown got one. Oh, hang on. One mid lane, one top lane, 2 mid lane, 3 bot lane. A lot of them going over, and maybe a kill as well. There we go. 8-5 to score now, and Figo's looking for more. Managed to poke up 2. But can they get more than that? It's looking likely, unless Void Unknown can turn this around. But it's looking a bit. This was the support, but. There you go. 1 for the price of, 3 for the price of 1. I think that's a good deal. But Ducky ends up taking a wrench and murders Yesto, basically. And he's also looking for Figo, but can't get him for the time being. So once again, the game is slightly equalizing. Down to 2k gold lead. Void Unknown still ahead for the time being. But it's not looking hopeless. That's for sure. It's like the complete opposite of hopeless, you know, because I mean, we're only 50 minutes in. None of the turrets have fallen yet. Bot and mid lane are looking closely. But not much for the time being. They're definitely looking for the turret now. There we go. That's the first turret done. First turret blood. Actually, no mind. I managed to get mid turret as well. But Jochen overstays as well. Come and ends up getting eaten by 3 people from LPS. I just realized that I have to fucking wall enabled, which was not my intention. Or maybe it was my intention earlier, but definitely not now. And there you go. Void Unknown definitely still in the driver's seat. They can still decide things. They're going for Herald, I believe, now. Or at least it's looking like they're going for Herald. Okay, there you go. That's Herald done by Narnia alone. Can they get something out of Herald? They definitely did last time around. They just got 2 turrets mid lane, which was a great play by them. See, that's probably gonna be turret 3. But Figo might be looking for a gang. Yeah, he is engaging indeed. Can Akio get away? Yes, he can, I think. Well, Figo definitely going in now, but he's gotta be careful with the turret. And he's not gonna look further than that. Ducky looking for Yasto, but maybe it was a little bit too much. Nah, not quite. Rooted, and Crouchcrafting comes in to pick up the kill. 11 and 8. Void Unknown finding the picks to ensure that they're staying ahead. We have to fight top lane. Let's see. 3-2 versus 1. LPS on the low end, but hang on, they managed to get one. They find Crash Crafter. That's 2 kills going over to LPS. Accio might be the next one to fall. Noisia's ultimate ends up expiring, but yeah, that's gonna be Accio done. He does have Herald. No, he doesn't have Herald. Why do I think he has Herald? Because of the Baron recall for some reason. But anyway. The kill score is fairly equal, but Void Unknown has a bunch of objectives more, which explains why they have 3k more gold still in their pocket. So that's gonna be mid-turret unless Jochen gonna be defending it, and that's gonna be flash from Kitty. It might also be flash from Grass, and I guess I'm afraid that they might have overstayed the welcome because Void Unknown is now collapsing on them. And they're gonna look for Drake as well, which is a great call in my opinion. Because it's not like LPS has really anyone around that could react to that. To be unfortunately honest. Did they use Herald yet? I don't think they did. It does expire at some point, so I'm guessing they'll probably use it soon. Accuracy, I believe. Maybe they just probably didn't. But Figo, hang on, Figo might be getting caught out. Has to dash away. Akio is getting quite tanky in terms of health, which is fair. There's the go to go. That's the Herald being used. It's gonna be used to target the tier 2 turret. But are they able to get more than that? Figo is gonna fall. That's gonna be a little bit bad. Unless no, he managed to get away. And surprisingly, no kills. Never mind. That's gonna be fast done. But apart from that, surprisingly, no one going over to Void Unknown. They did manage to get one turret, and the second one, the inhibitor turret, fairly quite a lot down. Apart from that, that's gonna be it. There you go, we have 2 targeting top lane. IQ might end up falling. Kitty going in for support. And there you go, that's 3 taking 1 guy. In the meanwhile, Atacam being completed by Void Unknown. They managed to get it as well. No throw to be had here. Yeah, Void Unknown certainly still in the driver's seat. But we do have a fight coming in. Is Void Unknown able to find a pick? Yes, they are indeed. That's Kitty Gun. Diego needs to flash away. But hang on, LPS. Okay, I was about to say something, but I shouldn't have. That team fight definitely went over to Void Unknown. No way of denying that, and I think that firmly placed the momentum now on their side as well. I mean, they have... That's red buff going over to them. That's our red buff even. The Drake, so it's gonna pop up in 2 minutes as well. So... It's looking likely that this game is once again going over to Void Unknown, but... I mean, anything can happen still. This is Division 8. This is still Division 8, so anything can really happen. Then again, this is... I mean, Division 8 kind of contains everything from Emerald to I guess Iron, if you look at me. Which is kind of surprising if you think about it. It's still this high elo, even at the bottom of the like pyramid. And there you go. White Unknown once again looking for LPS. Digger's involved. He might be able to get something. Trying to do something, but he can't. Unfortunately, Darky is now at this point unstoppable. Kitty manages to get away just barely. And it ends up being a shutdown. So, 1-for-1 trade. Now he's looking for a ton of damage. He has a ton of stacks at this point. So anyone who isn't their Accio, who isn't Accio, is just able to get destroyed by Noise here. So they gotta be careful about him. Especially I just noticed Noise is 401 at this point. And Accio is looking for their inhibitor. Digger's trying to answer it, but can't quite do it. Alright, that's one emitter going over, and Drake's about to appear in 6 seconds. So that's certainly gonna be their target. Yeah, there we go. They're looking for it. That's once again gonna be sold in just 24 minutes. I guess the earliest you could have done it would be 20, right? I think they respawn every 5 minutes, and the first one appears like 5 minutes in. So, yeah, sounds like around about 20 minutes would be the minimum. But yeah, one thing I wanted to say, as a comparison, I guess, because Prime 1, PRM1, the first Div broadcast, usually has this like, what do they usually call it? It was like momentum meter, I think. Yeah. I think at this point I would probably give it 9-1 to Void Unknown. I think LPS definitely can still, in some team fights, depending on what kind of picks they get. You shouldn't underestimate them. But at this point, unless the cards, if the cards are equal, then the favorites would definitely be on Void Unknown's side. But let's see. We still have quite a bit to go. But that's certainly going to be Bram going over them, and that's Kitty just gone. And while everyone is doing the Baron, Aku is destructing bot lane. Manages to get Yestu on top of him, and but it's never to get much in that. In the meanwhile, Figo's looking for a steal. Can he get it? He can indeed. That's a steal from Figo. And what else can LPS do? Yeah, Moise trying to do something alone by himself, but he can't really do much. Figo ends up getting murdered, but he does get the steal, which is going to be important, but it's not going to really do anything if that means Void Unknown can just run down the base. Which I think they're going to unfortunately do. Great steal right there, not going to lie, but I think that might be the game going over to them in the end, unfortunately. Yeah, there you go. Once again, good game, GG to Void Unknown. They're looking for a little bit more kills, but that is going to be the second game going over to them, and that means if you look at the schedule, at the standings, Void Unknown now places on first place with a score of 6-2. Very congratulations to them. That does mean we drop down to Urban 6. We now once again share last place with Herita. We are yet to play against them. Actually, are they our next opponents? I don't think so. Yeah, the next opponents will be Karkborg, which is also on... Well, they're the team that's still undefeated because they're yet to play, or they have only played 4-0 yet. So we'll have to see about that one. But But yeah, that means Void Unknown ends up taking first place, 6-2. Spirit Knights, as a result of that, drop down to second place. Hackburg and Nude still on 4 wins, third and fourth place. That's going to be important to look for towards the promotion. And it's only sad remains in 1 of 3, and Heritage and LPS are going to be last place for the time being at a score of 0-6. And once again, reminder what I said at the beginning of the stream. Heritage does have the caveat of they are still left to play next, or this week, right? I believe they have to play against It's Only Sad. And if they lose that match, they're going to be locked out of promotion. And that also means next week we're also going to be on the chair, of course, of not making it, but realistically, we didn't really expect it anyway, so that was to be expected. I think still the favorites will be Void, Spirit, Kakber, and Nude. They're going to be the ones that are going to be battling for these 3 promotion spots. And I think one of them, one unfortunate team, will probably stay in Division 8. But we'll see how that's going to turn out. In the next 4 weeks, we still have 3 weeks of play to go. But yeah. Anyway, I think it's time to close off the stream. Still, once again, great games from Void Unknown. GG's to them. And I would say I'm gonna see you for the next series against Kakburg next week, presumably, unless they delay. We'll have to see about that one. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you then.